Hi everyone, I am Dr. B. Vinmayir, Assistant Professor of English, V.V. Vani Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Today we are going to see William Wordsworth's Alice Fell or Poverty. Wordsworth is the most representative poet of Romantic age. He was born in 1770 in Cockermouth. His father, John Wordsworth, is a legal agent, and they have lived in the mansion house in Lake District. His father is the one who has instilled the importance of literature in Wordsworth. His mother died when Wordsworth was only 7 years old. When he was 13 years old, his father too died. But out of his own interest in literature, he has become a pioneer in Romanticism. His work, Lyrical Ballads, has been the path-breaking work in British literature. He had been a poet laureate in 1843. Wordsworth has a sister named Dorothy. He used to listen to the stories narrated by Dorothy, which she heard from the people around the villages or his country house. And Dorothy's stories are converted into poems by Wordsworth. For example, Lucy poems are the greatest poems of Wordsworth, which are based on the small child Lucy. And here also we are going to see how Dorothy's diary entry has turned into a poem. Dorothy in 1802 February 16 has written a journal entry. And in that, she has written about the story she heard from Mr. Cragam when he had a ride in his chaise. Let's get into the poem. The first stanza. The postboy drove with fierce career, for threatening clouds the moon had drawn, when, as we hurried on, my ear was smitten with this startling sound. The poem creates an airy atmosphere. Yes, the postboy means one who drives the post chaise. Chaise is a chariot with a cover. And here, the postboy is driving the chaise very fast. But the rider, Mr. Graham, could hear a threatening sound which startled him much. And next stanza, as if the wind blew many ways, I heard the sound and more. I seemed to follow with the chaise, and still I heard it before. Like the solitary reaper's song angered, Cragam also could hear the echoes of the moaning sound of a girl. Even though the wind blew very strong, it is very violent, he could hear the sound more and more. And it follows the chaise as if it travels along with them. And in the third stanza, at length I to the boy called out. He stopped his horses at the word, but neither cry nor voice nor shout nor aught else like it could be heard. The narrator or the traveler wants to stop the chaise. He called his boy. At one word he stopped the chaise. But now he couldn't hear any kind of noise at all, even the cry. And the poem creates really a weird ambience. The fourth stanza, the boy then smacked his whip, and fast the horses scampered through the rain. But hearing soon upon the blast the cry, I bade him halt again. But as soon as the boy started riding the horse fierce, using his whip, he whacked the horses and started riding very fast, like clashing through the rain. Once again, the voice of the girl or voice of the cry starts to scream. So the rider once again asked the boy to stop. Forthwith, alighting on the ground, whence comes, said I, this piteous moan? And there a little girl I found, sitting behind the chaise alone. Immediately, the boy and the narrator comes down. Dismounted from the chaise, they searched for the sound. He asked the boy, where comes this piteous moan? I could hear a moaning sound. It's not at all a shout, it is like a cry. And there they found a girl sitting behind the chaise. It's very dark, remember, it's dark, it's raining. The chaise is the only thing which runs across the road. I have to cross the forest, but they are hearing a weird sound. So it creates an ambience which is more thrilling. And the girl just says, my cloak. No other word she spake, but loud and bitterly she wept, as if her innocent heart would break. And down from off her seat she leaped. Yes, the girl just says, my cloak. Cloak means the cloth, the dress she wears. But no other word she utters. She starts to cry louder. Her innocent heart would break. She also gets down from her seat. What ails you, child? She sobbed. Look here, I saw it in the wheel entangled. A weather-beaten rag as ever from any garden scarecrow dangled. The narrator asks, what happened to you? What gives you much pain like this? What ails you, child? The child only points out to the wheel. There the narrator could see the girl's child getting entangled in the wheel spoke. It was already a rag thing, a tattered cloth it is already. It's more like a scarecrow's torn cloth, torn dress. But she's crying for the cloth which entangled in the wheel. There twisted between nave and spoke, it hung, nor could at once be freed, but our joint pains unloosed the cloak, a miserable rag indeed. It was twisted so much between the spokes, no one could untangle it, but the joint effort makes it happen. But what could be the result? The dress is mere a rag, wretched rag it is. And whither are you going, child? Tonight? Alone those lonesome ways? To Durham, answered the child, half wild. Then come with me into the chaise. In this narrative poem, there is a conversation between the child and the persona of the poem. The persona, after witnessing the pitiable condition of the child without a proper dress to adore her or to keep her comfort when it rains, he asks with some empathy, with much empathy, he asks, where are you going, child? Tonight, in this night. That alone, in this night, you are very lonely. Where are you going? To that question, she answered, to Durham. So, having much empathy, the persona takes her along with him. Insensible to all relief sat the poor girl, and forth did send sob after sob, as if her grief would never have an end. She doesn't bother about the comfort given by the persona. It could not let her relieve from all the pain she had, because she is insensible to all the comfort now she gets in the chase. She only feels about the torn cloth. She sobs, she cries a lot, as if her pain is not going to have an end at all, as if her problem is not going to find a solution at all. Her problem is to have a good dress to cover her body and safeguard her from the climate. In stanza 11, my child, in Durham do you dwell? She checked herself in her distress and said, my name is Alice Fell. I am fatherless and motherless. The person understanding that the girl could not come out from her inhibition, she already dwells or obsessed with her pain. He wants to give some comfort by having a conversation, smooth conversation. He wants to know where he dwells in Durham. So he asks that to the girl. The girl controls herself, and he once again comes out of her distress and tells him very patiently and introduces her as Alice Fell, and she also calls her an orphan. And I to Durham sir belong. She also says, I belong to Durham. Again, as if the thought would choke her very heart, her grief grew strong, and all was for her tattered cloak. Yes, of course, she is very much distressed about the tattered condition of her cloak. And it chokes her very heart, strangles. அதாவது மனதை புளியும் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி அந்த நினைவுகள் அவளோட கிழிந்து போன ஆடையை நினைச்சு அவளுக்கு ரொம்ப கவலையா இருக்கு. அது என்ன காரணமா இருக்கலாம்? ஒரு ஆடை கிழிந்ததுக்கு ஒரு குழந்தை இவ்வளவு தூரம் கவலைப்படுமா? Yes, of course. The chase drove on. Our journey's end was nigh, and sitting by my side, as if she had lost her only friend, she wept, nor would be pacified. Yes, the reason is here. The chase starts to drive fast. The journey is about to end. It's very close, it's very near, the destination is. And they both sit by side. But the child still cries as if she has lost her only friend. She could not be pacified at all, as if it is more like the death of a person. The only condition of the cloth has moved her much. She emotes various feelings, especially she mourns for the condition of the pitiable condition of the cloth. Up to the tavern door we paused of Alice and her grief I told, and I gave money to the host to buy new cloak for the old. And here, out of empathy, the persona wants to present a gift to the girl, and he takes efforts to remove the grief of the girl by offering money to the host of the tavern where the child lives. He gives him some money and asks him to get some new clothes for the child. And let it be of turtle grey, as warm a cloak as man can sell. Proud creature was she the next day, the little orphan Alice Fell. Here the poet ends with the smile of the girl when she gets the cloak from the boy. Yes, of course, he says, let the color of the dress be grey. It should give her a warmth So the warmth refers to the warm-heartedness of the person also. It may be a normal cloth, it may be a normal dress for a human being. It may be an ordinary one for a normal human being. But for an orphan, it's an expensive one, it is a luxurious one. He could imagine how proud Alicefeld would have been the next day after wearing a good new cloth. Yes, here the poet highlights the poverty which struck upon the society. The prevailing poverty is the reason for the weeping condition of these poor children. So the poet Wordsworth wants to understand the sense of empathy every human being needs, and he wants everyone to extend their helping hand to remove their plights. Thank you for your patient listening.